Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode, actually the final episode of this season of The Whiskey Show. I'm your host, Alec Balas, and this one I figured I'd just kind of do, you know,
hey,
you
Alec,
and
what the
me.
fuck are you doing? What
Hey,
are
Ryan.
you doing? I wasn't ready.
Hey Ryan,
I don't understand.
I just thought maybe I would do this one, the last one. You know,
You're recording?
of course I'm recording.
You want to do it by yourself? You think people want to see your face
I think there's
without this face?
I think there's a better half of the show, and it's on the right side of the screen. That's all I'm saying. I'm thinking maybe
How's the salad?
they'd like the salad is ranchy.
I'm Ryan Balas,
And I'm Alec Balas.
and we're the Balas Brothers.
And this
Is the Whiskey Show. Someone's going to go like, oh, they planned that.
Oh, no, we didn't. Prove it. Prove it, Gunther.
I was in Gunther. I hope there is someone out there named Gunther who watches this program. That'd be great.
Yeah. Hey, Gunther.
It would be, in my opinion, long overdue.
Gosh, ending the season with a 59.8% alcohol. If I was good at math, I'd tell you how much.
That's just a little bit more than when we drank the Hill Rock.
It's more, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So it should have some sizzle to it then.
All right, so
And is this another rye whiskey?
another rye whiskey because we're doing New York whiskey, and rye is super important to New York. And it's called the Whiskey Show, and we can drink whatever the F we want.
And it's got a
The logo here, you see that?
Empire Rye logo.
Empire Rye. This is Kings County Distillery, based in the Navy Yard in Brooklyn. Brooklyn, New York City. Ever heard of it? This is
There's this.
there's some information here. I'm going to read it because I think it's important. This is a single barrel. This is a special. You wouldn't pick this up for me.
Yeah, I did.
I asked for it. I knew it was coming out. Alec went and got this for me. This is a chart at number 4.
Good char. Good char.
Entry proof is 110. Barrel proof is 119. So it went up quite significantly in the barrel. Which is not
And it's a
necessarily...
6-year, correct?
It's 6 years old in one day. Here's something kind of funny. The Angel share, not funny, I suppose, but Angel share was
not funny.
30%.
So they lost 30%
That's
of the
over a
volume.
quarter of the barrel went up into the ether.
30% of the bottles they could have sold, yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty wild. The fill date was 10/31/2016. The dump date 11/2/22.
Yeah, my dump dates are more frequent.
Yeah.
They're about...
About 2:32.
Oh, you know, I saw a video on the internet of someone's
Nope. No.
dump date that there was maybe once a month. I don't think that's healthy.
Oh, I saw that too. Yeah, I think that was a joke. Oh, are we drinking this? Or
Pretty
you
sure it
just
was
drinking?
real.
You had a
Yeah,
little
just-
something
I
on the
was
bottom
having
of
a
your.
sip of air first.
Ooh,
Just a splash.
the nose is
High
strong.
proof.
Yeah, oh yeah. Hala. Okay, there you go. We're really just having a little sip here. Look at that beautiful color.
Yeah,
Just
rich amber.
absolutely gorgeous, rich amber.
I like their
dark.
bottles too.
You almost can't see through it. Yeah, I was gonna say what I love about King County. They started off as like basically moonshiners, making stuff in an apartment.
Yeah.
Colin Spoolman, who's the master distiller owner, he is from Kentucky.
From a dry county.
From a dry county. He grew up in a dry county. I believe his father might have even been religious or a religious leader of some sort. But he loves the rich heritage of moonshining.
Yeah.
But something that Kings County does really well and has actually gotten themselves a little bit into some controversy, but they are known for pulling from a lot of different styles. They see themselves as like, if we're in New York, there's obviously a rich history of whiskey making in New York and certain heritage methods, but like they want to pull from a lot of different stuff because New York is a melting pot. And so why wouldn't you? But
Like what? Like what kind of
well, they
styles?
did Irish style, which the Irish whiskey foundation or board or something did not take very kindly.
Yeah,
They
that's
were
interesting.
upset by it.
You would think that would be an interesting ad.
I think they sent like a cease and desist, in which this is all like on Instagram or on social media. But then Kings County sent back like a ha ha ha.
Oh boy.
They were like, "You can't. What are you going to stop us from calling this Irish style? It's what we pulled from. It's the influence. You can't own Irish style." according to Kings County. The Irish whiskey folks, I don't think agreed, but here we are.
What do you think?
I think that you can absolutely call it Irish style, of course. If that was the influence and that's like you're pulling from those methods, I don't know why you wouldn't. I think it supports. If I liked it, I'd be like, ooh, I'm going to try more Irish whiskeys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it, like, all boats rise kind of situation.
Yeah. If you try this, you're like, oh, I'm going to have some.
Well, this isn't an Irish style, but like, yes.
No, I mean, they're Irish style.
Right. Yeah. So that's my opinion. I think that you should give credit where credit's due. If you're doing an Irish style and you say, this is Irish style, I think that sort of plays by the rules. Do you agree?
Yeah, I don't think there was never a rule that said you can't make these styles, even with Empire.
Oh man, I don't know. There's like a little something in my tongue. I'm so sorry.
The hell was that?
I just got this little burn. Whew.
Quite the reaction.
Yikes! I have got to. Gotta cool my jets.
Take a breath.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know what I was saying.
I've totally messed it up. So sorry. So sorry.
No, I know that it's like kind of an involuntary reaction when you just like something hits you in the right way, and
it's very, very tasty. It's like caramel gold. Caramel gold.
Yeah, I don't taste those like grassy notes.
Not at all.
Much.
It has the bite and spice, but a lot of that is the proof.
Mm-hmm.
And the char. I mean, char 4 is pretty high up. And 6 years is great. We've had a number of Empire Ryes at this point.
I know why it tastes the way it tastes.
What?
80% New York rye, 20% UK malt. So malt adds a lot of sweetness to whiskey and flavor. So that's that percentage. There seems to be no corn.
Good.
Or anything else.
Yeah.
That's why this is so damn delicious.
This is damn delicious.
That is a great mash bill.
Yeah.
80% New York rye and then 20% UK malt. Interesting. UK malt. I bet he could go get malt in New York, but it'd be tougher for sure. I think a lot of malt is a tougher.
Yeah. Do you know what malt is?
Not really.
Yeah.
Well, I always assume it's barley, like malted barley.
Yeah.
Like sprouted barley.
Yeah.
So that's what I assume it is, but I don't actually fully understand the nuance and the difference there.
Yeah. I'm always amazed when people are like, they like floor toss the malt or whatever, where they're like, it's on the ground and they're just like shoveling it up and picking up. And like, you forget that.
Well, they're floor malting the barley.
Yes, floor malting the barley. Yeah, it's a process, I think, malting. But what I'm always surprised by is, or failed to think about, is how alive the ingredients are.
Yeah.
All the things that are going into like the magic pot of goodness to distill a spirit.
Well, one other thing about malt that it's like, I feel like it's assumed barley.
Yeah.
But like you can have malted rye as well.
Sure.
So like when it just says like UK malt, I'm assuming that's barley.
I got you.
But I'm curious if it's not a safe assumption.
I see.
It's like,
it's 20, not rye.
20%.
There's no way they're buying malted rye from someplace else besides New York.
No, I know, but I'm just saying in general. Like, what does it really mean? What is?
Well, malted rye might just be rye that has malted barley in it. No. Oh no! See, we are not experts.
No, it's sprouted rye.
Right.
Yeah, it's malted. It's malted rye. Rye. It's for when rye is malted. So it's different.
Scream at the screen if you know the answer. I'm sure some of you do. We are not experts. This is just opinions.
Don't scream at the screen.
Don't scream at the screen. Your partner, wife, husband's gonna come running in the room going, "What in Sam hell is happening?"
And they're these fucking guys don't know what malt is.
You're watching these guys again? Thank you. We really do appreciate it.
Ma'am, sir, person. We're sorry your partner screamed at the screen. Or non-partner. If you're by yourself, you might have neighbors.
And you go grocery shopping near this distillery. Alec lives in Brooklyn. I'm up here in the Hudson Valley.
Yeah, sometimes I go over there.
And you grocery shop near them. Mm-hmm. What's the experience like?
Terrible.
At the grocery store, nothing to do with Kings County, of course.
Oh, no, Kings County is great. What's the experience at Kings County?
No, the experience of grocery shopping.
I actually
in New York City.
Do it really anymore. We have it delivered.
One of those. I tried doing that. So I did like one of those services where you have it delivered. And they kept on like making creative decisions.
They do a lot of swaps if stuff's not there.
Yeah, but there was stuff where I was like, I know where that's at. You didn't look. And I was like, I want Totino pizza rolls, for example.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I don't want name off-brand pizza bagels. It's not the same thing.
That is a creative choice.
That is making some creative choices. It's like, just go look for the rolls, dog.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you why, though, we don't go shopping and we get it delivered. Okay. A few things, like both of us don't have time during the day to get it. And that's often when we do get groceries. Yeah. And then also, like, I don't want to congest more traffic when there's already people there. And plus...
That's nice of you.
There's no problem. I'll stay home for the greater good. There's already so many people doing the shop. Like, there's already, I don't know what they're called, but like the shoppers.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people in there already doing it that it's so chaotic. And there's a lot of like extra long lines because of people have 2-3 carts, and that's like totally fine. It's just, you got to get in the mix of all that. Or, you know, sometimes we'll go shopping and it's okay, but you got to find the right day, the right time. Because it's New York City, so there's a lot of people there. Yeah. And it's a big grocery store, so it's usually jam-packed. So,
sorry I asked. And I really am.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a whole experience. I didn't want to talk about it.
I got a question for you that struck me in the middle of that. Really, completely from left field.
There's no whiskey there either. You can't buy whiskey in a grocery store in New York.
Yeah, that's lame.
You can buy beer and wine, but no whiskey.
When was the first time that you ever got drunk with Dad? Or that you were drunk around Dad?
He probably didn't know.
That you were drunk? You don't think he knew at all?
Like I was in the same house and drunk?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times when Mom and Dad were sleeping and, you know, my friends would get a bottle of Early Times or a bottle of Canadian Mist whiskey and just get hammered in the basement.
Really? Mm-hmm. And they never caught you or never found it? Were you ever scared? I would have been shaking in my boots.
Oh, well, you know.
He's the youngest. We're 7 years apart. And I'm I'm the eldest son. The first son. I feel like that kind of stuff, you know.
We weren't drinking. Well, we mostly drank when they weren't there.
Yeah.
And we didn't drink that early on. Yeah. So there was only a few.
I didn't have a lot of alone time growing up.
We had a good amount of alone time. Mom and Dad would go do things and I would find my way out of it. And then I would stay home and get
hammered.
Well, to be thinking, initially it was like Mike's Hard Lemonade. So I don't know how hammered we were getting.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had this drink called Shits and Giggles, which was just Gatorade and vodka.
Yeah.
But then we would start to mix Canadian Mist or Early Times with Coke. So you could walk around with a Coke can. Yeah. And then you'd have whiskey in it.
At the house, like with Mom and Dad, like you'd go upstairs and like...
it was more like at Nate's grandpa's cottage.
I feel like Mom would smile if she was like looking at you and she's like, "Are you drunk?"
I would never be that drunk. I could
see her like smiling a little bit.
If anything, I might have been high on marijuana. But, that for sure.
Yeah, I was like that, I guess, a little bit.
Like, why does he come in the door with his head down, walk straight down to the basement and turn on the TV?
I got high one time. It was like the first time I was ever high. That I like felt it, and I was like, Mom and Dad, for whatever reason, I was like sitting with my girlfriend on this picnic table in their backyard, starting to be like, "Whoa, I'm a little baked here," you know. And Mom and Dad, just for whatever reason, they must have known. Mm-hmm. They walked out and they just sat next to us on this picnic table. The two of them,
definitely fucking with you.
Yeah, and I was like, "What in God's hell is going on? Get out of here!" What? Get out!
What were they asking me questions?
I don't know.
Yeah. You know, the first time I was maybe the first handful of times I ever got drunk, I was with two of my friends and then our middle brother, Devin. Mm-hmm. And we had no sea legs. So I like tripped and fell into like this like gaming chair and then I slammed it into the wall.
Because you got mad? Or
No, because I fell into it. Like I fell and it slammed my body and it smashed up against the wall. Yeah. And then Mom came down. Uh-huh. But we knew, I was like, fuck, as soon as I did that, we all three of us, we hit everything. And it was Mike's Hard, so it didn't like smell like alcohol down there. It was like for a short period, it was a limited edition. They had these like lemon drops, which were like smaller but higher alcohol kind of thing. Yeah. And Devin sat...
Designed purely for children.
For children, yeah. It was like baby bottles with malt liquor in them. Yeah. And then Devin put his hood up and just like pretended to sleep. Yeah. And then...
Wow.
And because he would come and go. He was like 5 years older than us. Yeah. So, and he bought us the booze.
Yeah. Allegedly.
And then when we hang out with us, it was funny. So
Yeah, it's a little weird when you think about it. Like, you don't have any friends your own age?
Well, he was like in between college and he was like, you know, in that in between time. Because he was
I'm off from my shift.
Yeah, so I don't he was just hanging at home or whatever. And so she didn't know if he was there or not.
Yeah.
And she was waking up in the middle of the night pissed that we just slammed something. She was, were you drinking?
Really?
Yeah. And then she's like, open your mouth. That was so scary because then Nate and Kevin were like pretending to sleep and stuff.
Yeah. And you were just had to be like,
I was like, I'm fine. You know, I wasn't probably that. It was just like we had some vodka and I just remember opening my mouth like and not breathing and like trying to hold my
which gave it away right away.
No. And then she went and it was like it just smelled like lemonade. That's the great thing about it. Like you couldn't it didn't smell like alcohol.
She's like, are you boys drinking lemonade?
And then I moved my mouth. I was like, quit being weird.
To her?
Yeah, I was like, stop smelling right. Like it's weird. Like stop. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
And then she was like, you better not be drinking. And Devin just didn't say a freaking word. Just sat there silent.
Like he was, like she thought he was sleeping.
Just at one of the other friends, like because she was mad at me, not at my friends.
Yeah, of course.
I was like,
did she know Devin was there?
No, she didn't know Devin was. She didn't even know until like years later that he was. That was him right in his like right there. He just didn't say a word. He just waited it out.
He just showed up after she was asleep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or he might have come. Yeah, I don't know.
She's
maybe
like,
he did.
Hi, Doolittle. You need any laundry done?
Yeah.
Wow.
You need to change your sheets.
That's insane.
Yeah, that was my first. That was my first and only really.
Yeah.
I had one other moment, but but it's not worth mentioning necessarily.
I shared like a Mike's Hard Lemonade with like 4 friends before a party, and then I just like let loose at the party. And I remember this girl I was seeing at the time was like, "Were you drunk? Are you drunk?" And I was like, "Had a little bit." But I was like, there's not even, I'm sure, I mean, I drove home that night fine. I was so scared, but I was like, buddy, you had like a sip.
Yeah.
You had a sip. You're hyperactive. It's probably the sugar that got to you, not the booze.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, that makes sense though. You remember like the first couple sips of alcohol, you're like, am I drunk yet?
Yeah.
Because you don't know the feeling.
Oh, the first time I felt the feeling, it was amazing. Mom, I think at that point was like, whatever, you're done with high school, you can get drunk. But I went to this party and my friend's brother had vodka.
You didn't really drink in high school?
No. I once tried it once.
Damn.
No, this might have been in high school. Now that I think about it, actually, because my friend, it was his girlfriend who had to drive my stick shift car.
Yeah.
But like, we got drunk. Like me and my friend. We were the only ones to drink with these college kids, and like we drank a bunch of vodka. That's the first time where I was like, "Oh, I'm drunk."
Yeah,
like, I'm like,
this is proper drunk.
I was like, "Whoa, I feel like on fire, like insane." And then so my friend's girlfriend had to drive a stick shift, and she couldn't even drive it. We're driving on the highway, and she's starting us down. And I was so freaked out. I was like, "We're gonna go to jail. We're done."
She was driving drunk?
No, she was sober as a pin needle.
Oh, she just couldn't.
Yeah, it was
sober as a what?
A pin needle.
Oh.
You never heard that phrase?
No.
Because I just made it up. Trademark Ryan Balas,
Sober as a
the Balas Brothers whiskey show. I remember that was like a really scary time, but there was never. I remember like coming home and being like, "Mom," like kind of messing with her because I was like, whatever, she doesn't care. I was 18. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. So she was like, "You're an adult."
Yeah, and I actually didn't technically live at home at that point because my senior year I lived separate from them because they moved and left me alone.
Wow.
They took their 2 favorite kids.
Try to fix that in dream therapy.
Yeah. All right. What do you have to say about that, Carl Young?
Yeah.
No, they abandoned me. So I was left my senior year to fend for myself, which was great because I feel like I got a jump start on independence.
Yeah.
So by the time I went to college, I wasn't fucking nuts because I was like, I kind of knew how to like, you have to feed yourself 3 times a day. And this is how you live on $35 every 2 weeks or whatever it was, some small amount. I mean, I was spending, my goal at the time in college was to spend, and you could do this. There was a store called Graciti's in New York City. It was like spend $10 on groceries. And there was all these dollar items. Like you could get eggs for like $1. You could get get eggs, cheese. And usually I was at the mercy of if somebody sent me a care package. So like my Aunt Cindy sent me our Aunt Cindy sent me a bunch of oranges from Florida.
That's nice.
Like as a care package. And then, so I lived off like oranges, eggs, cheese. I tried to do ramen, but I only had a coffee maker. So I'd heat up the water and pour it on the ramen and just be like lukewarm, disgusting ramen. It was a sad existence.
You have a microwave?
I had a microwave. My roommate had a microwave. We had a sink that was in our little
Could have
thing.
made it in the microwave.
It's kind of funny to think though. I would store like dirty dishes in like what was a tiny sink that we had for like toothbrushing everything, like just in our little dorm. And like, why wouldn't you live with one other person in a tiny closet in what was, for lack of better words, an insane asylum? Because the first 3 floors are actors going to acting school, and the next are people who've been grandfathered into living at this place until they're completely senile. And I'm living in this tiny closet, and I didn't do my dishes. That was rude of me. That was really rude of me.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't know. I just didn't. But like I just remember the way that like
I would have done paper plates and bowls.
Oh, bro, I should have. I had these dumb plastic things. I used to put make eggs in the microwave. I don't know if you've done that.
I have,
and it's awful.
Uncle Jimmy taught me how.
Yeah, I think it's an Uncle Jimmy thing.
You break up a piece of Kraft American cheese.
Yeah,
and,
it's
and
what I
you
did.
spin it up. Yeah, but you don't have to really mix it. It's just like, it can be white and yellow.
Yeah.
And then you microwave it in a bowl. You put some nature seasoning on that bitch.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did. I was living that life. And
I ate that for a while.
And it was like a luxury to get a hot dog, every once in a while.
Or a slice of pizza from 7-Eleven.
A slice of pizza was a real luxury. But I remember I used to get jealous in college of the kids who had money for lunch. Yeah. I was just like, that's nice, man. I wish I had some money for lunch.
Well, the option would have been to get a job.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Could always go.
Did you have a job in college? Yeah, you did. You had a shit job for a while.
I've never not had a job in my fucking life.
I never had a job in my life.
I've been working since I was.
Yeah. I never had a regular job in my day of my life.
Don't do it.
I've somehow scooped out a survival
it's tough
living. But I mean, I make stuff, but
You have a job now.
I have a job now. I'm a Balas brother professionally.
Yeah, LLC.
That's pretty kind of funny, isn't it? Yeah. You're professionally a Balas brother.
Just what I already am.
Hey, on that note, this is the Whiskey Show.
It's ridiculous.
We're doing crazy stuff. We hope you've enjoyed yourselves, and we'll be back. This has been a fun run of New York whiskeys.
Yeah, next season, what do you want to do?
I think we should either do Texas or like Indiana, Michigan, or something.
Yeah, why don't we hit let's maybe get some Kentucky stuff out of the way.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. You'll find out in season 2.
We'll decide. Maybe you help us decide what you want to see in the future seasons.
We'll see. Who knows? You stuck with us, and that's what matters. Now, I always feel bad doing it with empty glasses, but that means we finished our drink. As our great-grandfather would say to his brother, to drink
is to live.
Is to live.